MicroTech, a planet that was never supposed to look like this. From orbit, she looks almost peaceful, a clean, white world wrapped in cloud, drifting at the outer edge of the Stanton system. But peace is the lie this planet tells. Underneath that cloud is a surface that sits at negative 84 degrees Celsius, a world built on a terraforming mistake. And today, we are taking the ship all the way down. Welcome back to Orgbital. If you are new to the verse, pull up a seat. This one is for you. Because MicroTech is one of the first planets that new pilots ever set foot on, and it is also one of the fastest places in Stanton to get a fresh citizen killed. So we are going to land at New Babbage, walk through what the atmosphere is actually doing to you, cover the vital protection you need before you step outside, and then we are flying somewhere most pilots never bother to find, the MicroTech River Ravine. Stay with me. MicroTech, officially Stanton 4, the outermost of the 4 habitable planets in this system. On paper, she was supposed to be temperate, breathable, a standard UEE terraforming job. But something went wrong in the process. The atmosphere generated cloud cover far thicker than the projections allowed. Those clouds trapped the cold in, and the entire thermal balance of the planet shifted. The result? A world that sits comfortably below zero on a quiet day and drops to negative 84 on the open surface. A disaster for the terraforming team, but not for Magnus Tobin. Tobin saw what nobody else did. He bought the planet outright and made it the headquarters of the MicroTech Corporation. Because the servers that power Mobiglass, the data networks that sit on every wrist in the known verse, they run hot. And there is no better cooling system in the galaxy than a planet that freezes itself. A mistake turned into an empire. Now, the atmosphere itself is actually breathable. Nitrogen and oxygen with trace argon and carbon dioxide. The terraforming did work in that regard, so you will not need your helmet seal just to breathe down here. But that does not mean you do not need your suit. We will get to that. New Babbage. Built right into the side of a mountain, glass domes catch what little light breaks through the cloud cover. A frozen lake stretches between you and the city itself. This is the headquarters of MicroTech Corporation, the place where Mobiglass was born, where the ship electronics in your cockpit right now were likely designed. Advanced sensors, navigation systems. If it is high-tech and it sits in your ship, there is a decent chance it came through here. And the name. The name is a tribute. Charles Babbage. The man who, centuries ago, designed the first mechanical computer. A quiet bow from a tech empire to the person who started it all. New Babbage feels different from other cities in this system. Not as gritty as Lorville, not as sprawling as Orison. It is clean, corporate, high glass and white light. It feels like the future. A full life support system wrapped around your body. For most new pilots, this is the first serious survival purchase I would recommend. The Sterling Exploration Suit, also from Caldera, is a solid alternative. Advanced insulation fabrics. Impact polymers. A little radiation tolerance on top. And what you avoid? The true barrier hazard suits. They sound protective, they are not. They are built for toxic and chemical environments. They do not carry the thermal rating to keep you alive on MicroTech's surface. A common mistake? a fatal one. If you need to stock up before landing, the Lagrange Station's MICL-1 and MICL-2 both carry cold weather gear. The shops inside New Babbage do as well. With the right suit on, the surface opens up. Tundra zones near geothermal vents. Patches of dark green thawwort lichen against the ice. Tundra copions wandering the open plains. A planet that wants to kill you, and one of the most beautiful places in Stanton. Which brings us to where we are flying next. There is a place on MicroTech that most pilots fly straight over and never stop to see. A river. Or more accurately, what that river carved. Deep in one of the geothermal zones, where the planet's internal heat pushes up through the ice, the ground thaws just enough for water to move. And over time, that water cut through rock. Deep through rock. Carved out by water across thousands of years. Ice is clinging to the ledges above. The river catches whatever pale light makes it through the cloud cover. This is the thing about MicroTech that keeps pulling me back. On paper, she is a hostile planet, a frozen rock designed to test you at every turn. But underneath that, quite literally in this case, there is something extraordinary. Bank left here, gently. Hug the curve of the canyon wall. Look up. The ice shelf overhead catches the late afternoon light and turns the whole canyon a soft, pale gold. Worth every minute of the flight to find it. This is what I made this channel for. These moments. The ones that remind you of Star Citizen, even in alpha, is doing something no other game is doing. Scale, atmosphere, beauty, on a planet that technically was never supposed to exist like this. And that is MicroTech, a terraforming mistake turned into a corporate empire, a frozen world hiding some of the most stunning terrain in the system, and a beginner's trap if you walk outside in the wrong suit. If you are just starting out in the verse, remember the 3 rules of this planet. Cold suit, always. Watch your temperature gauge, always. And never, ever step outside in a flight suit. I want to hear from you. Have you flown the River Ravine yet? Or is this your first descent into New Babbage? Drop your story in the comments below. Tell me which suit you landed in. If this helped you out, drop a like, subscribe, and fly with me into what's next. Fly safe, watch your 6, and I'll see you in the verse.